Hello everyone, this is Mrityunjay Jha here, and today in English class we are going to discuss about letter writing. Letter writing is an important part of writing section in English language, and this is also letter is also an important way of communicating things between people, and a letter is most importantly a way of communicating with another person. Letters have many different functions and can be written in many different ways. The two main types of letter are formal and informal. And although the two types of letter look the same, they are different in terms of content, the stuff you write about, and the type of language that you use. So, what things one should keep in mind while writing a letter? Now, this is a list of what one should do while writing a formal letter and writing an informal letter. Now, some of the tips that you should keep in mind while drafting or writing a formal letter. You make the reason why you are writing the letter clear. It should be written clearly why you are writing. Clear topic paragraphs, a concluding paragraph which lets the reader know what your opinion is and what you would like to happen. Appropriate and formal language should be used. Quotations from people with authority. Use of facts, data, figures to support your opinion. This should be written in a formal letter. Now, some tips for writing an informal letter. You start the letter with a friendly tone, asking the reader how they are. Paragraphs are used to discuss different topics. A concluding paragraph which ends the letter on a positive tone or note. Informal language, colloquial, conversational tone. This should be kept in mind while drafting an informal letter. Informal letter is usually referred to the letter that we write to our friends, relatives, family members. And formal letter is also called business letter or official letter that we write to some officers, some authority, some CEO of companies, to somebody who is in authority. It may be school principal or an owner of a business group or a collector, chief minister, or your municipality authority, anyone. So, formal and informal letter, these are some of the tips that you should keep in mind. Now I am going to give you the format of formal letter as well as the format of informal letter. Let's see. Now this is the format of a formal letter, how we should write, what things should be kept in mind while writing a formal letter. At the top on the left hand side, we write sender's address, means the person who is writing the letter. His address or her address should be at the top on the left hand side. Then we leave one line, that is subspace, and we write the date. Date should be written in proper format. Then below that we write the receiver's address or the addressee's address, means to whom we are writing. This is a formal letter, example of letter written to the editor of a newspaper. So the receiver in this case will be the editor. So the editor, the Times of India or whatever newspaper is given in your question, you will write that. Below that we write the subject. For the subject means the purpose for which you are going to write a letter. Below that we give salutation, sir, madam, etc. And we leave some space. Then comes the most important part of a letter, that is body of the letter, that contains the main subject, the theme. It should begin with an introduction, why you are writing that particular letter. Then what are its main contents, then the conclusion or closing that we give. Below that, we write something like thanking you, your sincerely, your truly, your faithfully, or your etc. These things are called complimentary clause. Below that, the writer's name should be written. And if the writer is having some kind of designation, some post, that should also be mentioned. So this is one standard format of a formal letter. Now let's see the format of an informal letter. Now pretty much same. The format remains the same, only the tone, the content and the endearing words, that is salutation, get changed. Now in informal letter 2, at the top on the left hand side, we write the writer's address, means the person who is writing. Then we leave a blank line, then we write the date, again we leave one blank line, then the salutation. Dear mother, dear friend, or anyone of your family member, friends, that we often write a letter. Below that, the body of letter, again it should have some kind of introduction or some kind of information that you have received a letter, or after long silence you are writing to know something about that person whom you are writing. Below that, the contents, means why are you writing that particular letter. Then at the end, in form of closure or in form of conclusion, you exchange some greetings, express good regards for elderly people, love to younger people, things like that should be exchanged. Below that, the complimentary clause should be yours truly, or your loving son in this case, or your loving friend, affectionate friend, or something like that we write. And below that we write the writer's name. So these are the two samples to format how formal and informal write later should be written. I hope this must have given you some kind of help you needed. Thank you.